The runway collision. A tragedy in the fog. On the runway, a Boeing 747 stood ready for takeoff, shrouded in thick fog. The pilot advanced the thrust levers, illuminated the headlights, and the aircraft accelerated past the critical takeoff speed, the point of no return. But just then, a shadow materialized through the mist. It was another Boeing 747, mere meters away, facing the opposite direction on the very same runway. What followed was beyond comprehension. How had the situation deteriorated to this point? Where was the air traffic controller? And what single error had set in motion the deadliest aviation catastrophe in history? This disaster unfolded in Spain's Canary Islands, a tragedy now known as the Tenerife airport disaster. The events leading to the catastrophe. The chain of events began a day earlier, on March 26, 1977, when Pan Am Flight 1736, a Boeing 747 jumbo jet, departed Los Angeles Airport. Its scheduled route included a stop in New York to board additional passengers before continuing to its final destination, Las Palmas in the Canary Islands. The flight was a chartered service, fully occupied primarily by elderly travelers looking forward to a cruise vacation. Las Palmas, the capital of the Canary Islands, sits roughly 100 kilometers off Morocco's coast, famed for its tropical climate. However, in 1977, the islands were gripped by political unrest. A separatist group called Mapayac was waging a violent campaign for independence from Spain, setting the stage for chaos. The bombing that changed everything. At Las Palmas Airport, two men discreetly left a bag containing a timed bomb near a flower shop before vanishing. At 1 p.m., airport staff received a chilling phone call and Mapayac spokesperson claimed responsibility and warned of an imminent explosion. Authorities scrambled to evacuate the terminal. Exactly 15 minutes later, a deafening blast ripped through the building, collapsing part of the roof. In response, all flights were grounded, and incoming aircraft, including KLM Flight 4805 from Amsterdam and Pan Am Flight 1736 from New York, were diverted to Tenerife Airport, located 110 kilometers away. Chaos at Tenerife Airport. Tenerife's airport, nestled among mountains, was small and ill-equipped for the sudden surge in traffic. It had only one runway and a single taxiway, and worsening fog reduced visibility to as little as 300 meters at times. KLM Flight 4805, carrying 248 passengers and crew, opted to refuel while waiting, ensuring a quick departure once Las Palmas reopened. Pan Am Flight 1736, with 396 on board, was stuck behind KLM, unable to move until refueling finished. By 4:45 p.m., KLM completed refueling and prepared for takeoff. Due to the congested apron, air traffic control instructed the crew to taxi along the runway, execute a 180-degree turn at the far end, and then begin their takeoff roll. Meanwhile, Pan Am was directed to follow KLM but exit at taxiway C3. The miscommunication that sealed their fate. Visibility was dangerously poor, with fog patches limiting sight to just 300 meters. Pan Am overshot taxiway C3, likely due to inadequate signage and the thick fog. KLM's captain misinterpreted ATC instructions, believing he had clearance for takeoff when he did not. As KLM began accelerating, the tower radioed, "Stand by for takeoff. I will call you." Simultaneously, Pan Am transmitted, "We are still on the runway." But in KLM's cockpit, the overlapping transmissions caused confusion. Despite the flight engineer's warning, the captain pressed on. The collision and its aftermath. Seconds later, Pan Am's crew spotted KLM's landing lights barreling toward them through the fog. They desperately tried to steer clear, but it was too late. KLM's right engine smashed into Pan Am's upper deck, shearing through the first-class cabin. Both aircraft erupted in flames. KLM's fully fueled tanks turned the wreckage into an inferno. All 248 aboard KLM perished, along with 335 of the 396 on Pan Am. Only 61 survived, some by jumping from the wreckage. Investigation and lasting reforms. The official inquiry revealed a cascade of failures. 1. The Las Palmas bombing forced diversions to an ill-suited airport. 2. KLM's unnecessary refueling blocked the taxiway, delaying Pan Am. 3. Poor visibility and missing runway markings contributed to navigation errors. 4. KLM's captain took off without explicit clearance, the decisive mistake. 5. How aviation changed forever. 6. Standardized ATC communication protocols were enforced to prevent misunderstandings. 7. Improved runway lighting and signage became mandatory worldwide. 8. Cockpit hierarchy reforms empowered crew to challenge a captain's decisions. 9. Today, Tenerife operates 2 airports, the original northern site where the crash occurred and a new southern airport with better visibility to ensure such a tragedy never repeats. The final moments, a catastrophic misunderstanding. The KLM captain, misinterpreting air traffic control's instructions, initiated takeoff without receiving proper clearance. At this critical moment, the control tower instructed KLM, "Stand by for takeoff. I will call you." Simultaneously, Pan Am transmitted, "We are still on the runway." These overlapping radio transmissions created confusion in KLM's cockpit. The crucial standby order was lost in the interference. Even after the flight engineer expressed concerns, the captain proceeded with takeoff. The horrific collision, as KLM accelerated down the fog-shrouded runway. Pan Am's crew suddenly spotted KLM's approaching headlights through the dense fog. They attempted evasive action, but the distance was too short. KLM's right engine ripped through Pan Am's first-class section. Both aircraft were instantly engulfed in flames, KLM's fully loaded fuel tanks creating an inferno. The human toll was devastating. All 248 aboard KLM perished, along with 335 of 396 on Pan Am. Miraculously, 61 passengers and crew survived the catastrophe. Key findings from the investigation. The official inquiry identified a series of critical failures. 1. The terrorist bombing at Las Palmas that forced diversions. 2. KLM's decision to refuel unnecessarily, blocking the taxiway. 3. Extremely poor visibility conditions. 4. Inadequate runway markings at Tenerife. 5. The KLM captain's decision to take off without explicit clearance. 6. Aviation safety revolution. In response to the disaster, the aviation industry implemented sweeping changes. Standardized ATC communication protocols to prevent misunderstandings, improved runway lighting and markings for better visibility, mandatory radar systems at major airports, revised cockpit procedures requiring crew to challenge captains' decisions, enhanced crew resource management training, Tenerife's lasting legacy. Today, Tenerife operates 2 distinct airports. Tenerife North Airport, site of the 1977 disaster. Tenerife South Airport, constructed later with superior visibility. This tragic event remains aviation's deadliest accident, a sobering reminder of how communication failures, poor visibility, and procedural lapses can combine with catastrophic consequences. If you found this account informative, please like and share to honor those lost and help spread awareness of aviation safety. We appreciate your thoughtful comments and look forward to bringing you more important stories in our next video.